So do you need a dice tower to play Dungeons and Dragons? That's the question that we're going to ask. Now, the simplified answer is no. I mean, as a DM, you just need the source books and some dice. That's it, and some paper. You don't even need a Dungeon Master screen. It's helpful because it has all the charts and elements, and it hides the notes and maps and sometimes miniatures from the players. But if we really look at it, I need some dice, I need the notes, the book, that's it. But there are elements that we add in as a Dungeon Master, in my opinion, to create tension. And I define tension in a role-playing game in Dungeons & Dragons as good tension, positive tension. The players, mystery, I guess I should say mystery. That would have been a better qualifier. The players don't know what's going to happen next. The players are like, what's going to happen next? You know, we kick down this door. We're in this dungeon. What's going on? They're always on the very, very edge of what's going to happen next. We want to pull the players into that immersion, to that narrative, and get them really, really excited and passionate and involved. So we do that by creating tension, by creating mystery. So as a DM, are there props that you can utilize? Now, the easiest prop, of course, leaving real swords and weapons aside for a moment, different legal jurisdictions depending on your state and government, but looking at maps, handouts, miniatures, or in this case, dice towers. The dice tower could very well be an interesting prop. So consider this scenario, right? The fighter in the party is battling it out with the ogre and is just smashing each other, and we're down to low hit points. The fighter's got 12 hit points. The ogre has taken a number of blows. Now, you don't know how many hit points it has, even if you've been playing a while, but you're like, this is going to come down to one or two more hits. Or you're jumping over something and need to kind of make the Dungeon Master's making an opposing check. And you're like, I heard this was a bottomless pit. I guess we'll find out. When the DM, the Dungeon Master, rolls dice, interesting things happen. So sometimes we like to drag out those dice rolls. Now, I roll in front of my players, kind of old school. Some will use a dice tray. You take the dice and you just roll it out and you see what you get. The nice part about a dice tower is that I have a relatively high dice tower, but it's thin, so it clinks through very, very fast, and it has an open base that all the players can see. I set that sort of in the middle of the table, close to my DM screen, so everyone can see it. I like to drop the dice down in that when I'm using a dice tower, because you see the literal gravity of the situation, the dice falling. You hear it, so you're like, this is it. The fates have been cast. It is out of Fritz's hands. If he's swinging, I hope it's a 3 or 4 or 5 on that D20. And then when it rolls out of the dice tower, you get to see. A lot of fun. So there are ways to incorporate props, specifically a dice tower, to make it something that is, wow, this is tension. This is mystery. This is excitement. It better not roll a natural 20. And then you're like, a 20. Okay, confirmed crit. I hope not. Crit confirmed. Like a lot of fun from that perspective.